Hello guys, and thank you for purchasing Cyber Glitch Transition Premier version from Video Hype. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use it properly inside your project. To doing that, I've opened my Premiere Pro and prepared all these folders, which are different resolution for square videos, which is good for the post in Instagram, vertical videos, which is awesome for reels and stories, and a horizontal, which is a normal one. I'm going to show you how you can use these transitions on top of each one of these different formats, different resolutions. So I'm gonna start with the square one. I'm gonna open it. There are two footages here and one sequence which I've already made. I'm gonna double click on the sequence and my videos are here. As you see, there is cuts, but there is no transitions. So the next step is I'm gonna go to File, Import, and then if you download the transition pack from the Video Hive, you will get this folder. You will go to this folder, Cyber Glitch Transition, and you will find Cyber Glitch Transitions. Hit Open and select Entire Project. Okay, it finds the media that is used inside it, but if you've seen any missing media, you can find all the footages and the sound effect inside the same folder. I'm gonna bring this folder out. So here is the Cyber Glitch Transition. I'm gonna close the square folder. I don't need it. And I'm gonna open Cyber Glitch Transition. You can find resolution change here. You can find transitions, all the 50 transitions, and the media, which are here, the preview media. All right, so the nice way to go about it is to double click on transition folder and open it in new bin. Once it's open in new bin, you can choose to view thumbnails. By doing that, you can preview all the transitions from here. And I can choose one and drag and drop on top of my footage. But before I do that, once I select the transition that I desire, I'm gonna make sure this button is off, the insert button is off. And all of the video channels are in the normal order, like V1, V2, V3, and there is nothing like misplacement like V1, V3, V2, because these channels could be replaced easily. And the third thing I'm gonna look for is the V1 channel should be off. So this is the perfect setting. Now I'm gonna bring the transition and put it on top of the cut. For the next one, I'm gonna choose this one and bring it down, making sure the V1 is off, V2, V3, and V4 are in the same order, in the correct order. I'm gonna choose the next one. All right, before I put it down, I'm gonna turn off V1, then bring it down here. And let's try this one and put it on top of the cut. All right. Now I'm good to go. I can press I at the beginning of the edit and press O at the end of edit. And go to sequence, render into out, and wait for it to render all the transitions. These transitions are rendering pretty fast, so you won't lose a lot of time rendering the transitions. Very good. After I'm done, I'm gonna check the transition, and as you see, the transition does not work properly because we haven't changed the resolution of this transition according to our sequence setting. So to do that, I'm going to go back to project panel, find out the sequence that is written resolution change. I'm gonna double click on it. Then here in this timeline resolution change sequence setting, I'm going to sequence and open sequence setting. Here from window, I can change the resolution to 1080 by 1080 and hit OK. Now I have the square frame, and if I go back to the square, now you see my transition is covering all the frame, all of them. All right. One more thing, let's say for this transition. It seems the transition does not look exactly the way it should look. For solving this problem, what I'm going to do is to select the cut tool from my toolbar and cut before and after the transition, right below it. Select back the tool, the selecting tool, and select these two small pieces and turn them into a nest by right click on them and choosing nest. Whatever name doesn't matter, hit OK. Do the same for the next small piece and hit nest. Hit OK. Now is the best looking of the transition. So it's a good practice to do the same for all of the transitions when you want to use them. So in this way, you will make sure your transitions are looking exactly the same way they were intended to. Next. Very nice. And this one as well. I'm gonna do the nest. Hit OK. Second one. And hit OK. And if you want to know why this happened and what is the cause of it, you can direct me or you can send some message through Widow Hive and I will explain to you, but it's gonna take a long time of this tutorial video. So I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna move to vertical version, double click on vertical sequence, which I already made. Here is the vertical. Then I'm gonna go to the bin of the transitions, choose few of them and bring down here. So now you see this transition is messed up. So the layers are not the way they should be and there is a huge gap. So this happened because of the window channels, which are not in a proper order. As you see, there's a V3 on the most down, V1, V2, and V4. So I'm gonna fix that before I bring my transition. I'm gonna select the transition, bring the V1 down, and correct the order. So V1, V2, V3, V4, that's the correct way. And then I'm gonna bring the transition, and now you can see the transition comes in a good shape. And the next one, and that should be about it. All right, so let's take a look at it. So this transition doesn't work even. To do that, to solve that, keep remembering that you have already changed the resolution of this transition. You need to change it to the vertical version. So one more time, I'll go to project panel. I will find cyber glitch transition, open up, and resolution change. I'm double clicking on this sequence. Once I'm in the sequence, I'll go to the sequence setting and then change it to 1080 by 1920 and hit OK. Now I have the vertical frame here. I'm good to go back to vertical sequence, and as you see my transition starting to work on the footage. And the same order and the same workaround applies here, which I mean to cut underneath the transition and create sequence of each small part to make sure your transition is working the way they have to. Nest. Again, if you want to know why we're doing that, you can DM me or just send a message through Widow Hive, and I will explain to you why exactly it is happening. All right, so now I'm good. If I play, you can see the transition, and of course you can render it to see much better because it's not buffered. As you see, there is a red line up on top of the transition. All right, I'm gonna move forward, and this time I'm gonna open the horizontal sequence, which I've already made, and do the same again for this version of Widow. I'm going to transition bean, select one, bring it down, make sure all of the Widow channels are in the same order, in the correct order. Bring a couple of transitions, and there are sound effect. Make sure if you have a sound clip underneath your video, make sure to not messing it up with the sound effects of transitions. And now I have my own all transitions here ready, but as you see, the transition does not work again the way they should work. To fix that problem, I have to go back to project panel, open Cyber Glitch transition and resolution setting, double click on it. Once I'm in the resolution setting, I'll go to sequence and sequence setting and change the frame size to 1920 by 1080 and hit OK. And now if I go to horizontal, now the transition covers all the frame. But again, to do this the correct way, I'm gonna cut my footage underneath the transition and create a sequence of it, so you can see what is changing once I create a sequence. Just keep your eye here on the program panel. When I hit nest and hit OK, you can see some changes happened here, which is the correct way of this transition. So I'm gonna do nest again, hit OK, make sure all of these small pieces are nested. And for the last one, gonna nest, hit OK, and now you see the lines are showing up once I nested, and nest the next one. All right, now I'm good. Now I am sure that all the transitions are looking good. Now I can press I at the beginning and press O at the end of my edit. Go to sequence menu and hit render into out and wait for the Premiere to render all the area, working area. Now you can see all the transitions are working pretty good. Very nice. All right, that's about it. I hope you guys are enjoying this pack and see you in next videos. Bye.